All right, we're in here. All right, Ryan Snow. Up here. Yeah, we definitely are. Boom. All right, now we're back. How's it going, everybody?
Hello.
Here we are. Now we're back.
Hopefully everyone can hear me. I got a little more control of the audio.
So Ryan's on the mix today. So we are out here listening to some tunes. We got a bit of Royal Republic going on in the background here. So we're just gonna kind of shoot the shit here today. We'll talk some cool stuff. We'll go over some stuff that went on last year for us. And then we're gonna get kickstarted on this new year. 2024, baby.
2024. I hope everyone had a good new year, and it's glad to be back. First episode of the new year, Sammy.
Yeah, man. It's going to be good. I think we're going to, like I say, we're going to do a low-key episode here. Keep the holiday train going. I think everybody's still a little bit in holiday mode, so we'll keep it easy for everybody here this evening. Yeah, so we're just going to get into some stuff here. So, again, we've had some big jumps in our socials here recently. That's been really exciting and really cool, I think. What's your take on that, man?
Yeah.
Think?
Well, yeah. I think we got probably over 100 followers in the last 2 weeks on Instagram, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, so we're just kind of picking up the pace here recently. Of course, we're going to hopefully try to be a little bit more involved in our TikTok here coming up.
That's kind of blowing up too.
We're getting a couple blow-ups. Yeah, so we had one pretty sick video. We had I've been streaming on Whatnot for my other business, Sam's Boutique. Check it out on Instagram. But yeah, so we're doing a stream, and Snow caught a little clip here of the show or whatever, and that got like 2,000 views. Most viewed clip I've ever put on the internet, probably.
The most viewed clip of the end of the year was 1985 TikTok channel.
Yeah,
for sure. And so it's kind of cool to see you on the in the collector's realm of things here on the Whatnot. It's kind of fun. I like watching.
Yeah, so we'll probably talk a bit about that kind of stuff today. We'll get into some stuff here or whatever. You can't really see it, but there's a pile of Pokemon stuff scattered across the desk here and a bunch of different cards and whatever. But yeah, so we'll get into it. We'll talk some collecting here. It'll be a short one today or whatever, but yeah, we'll get into it a little bit.
When it comes to collecting, what was probably your earliest form of collections? What were you collecting on early on?
Like early before, like
not
beyond
necessarily
rocks.
A little bit of rocks, yeah.
Beyond the rocks.
Beyond the rocks.
Give me some rocks, he says. But what would it have been? Probably hockey cards, I'm going to say. I do have a really early memory of collecting baseball cards.
Oh, wow. Baseball,
to be fair, yeah. Wanted to go. I won't put him on out the internet because I don't know what his deal is with that kind of thing. I haven't spoken to him in years or whatever. But one of the guys I used to hang around with from home, he was really big into baseball, which also made me big into baseball. But it was right around the time, too, when the Blue Jays were hot.
Yeah.
And they were winning some World Series there. Was it 91, 92 or 90, 91 or whatever?
92, 93-ish, I think.
Whatever.
Or 91, 92, yeah.
Whatever it is, anyway. Whoever the sports people are.
Early 90s.
Take me down on that one.
But, I do remember watching those on
yeah,
TV,
man, like
actually.
Joe Carter and the boys.
Absolutely.
Ray Alomar.
Roberto
Alomar, yeah.
Yeah.
Roberto Alomar. And yeah, so anyway, like that's when I remember I got into those cards a fair bit, to be fair. And, like, to be honest, like, I don't know, and I'm sure people do know this or whatever about Dad, but he was a huge hockey card collector.
Oh, baby.
Back in the old days.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, right? So he was into that. I mean, he's still got a pretty significant collection at the house. He sold a lot of stuff, obviously, but there's some pretty...
From when he was young?
No, like when I was young.
Oh, okay.
So like early 90s stuff.
So he's a long-time collector.
Yeah, and I mean, he'd collected when he was a kid, and I feel like it's the same thing what's going on with us. He collected... I think this is the generational transitions, right? Like, so every generation slowly pushes that stuff ahead, and then when you're 40, you kind of pick it up, 30s, whatever, right?
Right.
So I think that's what's going on, especially with me now. To be fair, like I've always collected stuff. Like I love stuff, but that was probably my like earliest collection was these baseball cards. And I remember Dad bought a couple boxes of Upper Deck cards, I want to say, and we cracked those open, and he had his buddies over. Like it was a big deal. Like trading cards in the early '90s was a big deal, I believe. Like
huge.
at least like from my perspective, I don't know like who else's dad was collecting cards and stuff at the time, but yeah, it was that was a whole thing, man.
I
Whole
loved
thing.
that was probably for me too. It's got to be hockey cards first for sure. Like I mean, growing up in Canada, hockey's number one. Obviously, it's our number one pastime, I would think, and just early collection of hockey cards. I know with the early '90s, yeah, like the market did kind of get a little flooded with cards because it got so hot.
Oh, it did.
So some of those from the '90s aren't as valuable as.
They're not as classic as I thought, as everybody thought they were going to be, I think. And there was a lot of printing going on of
it's like overprinting.
Overprinting, yeah. Like, and that's like people like, I mean, I've recently, like I said, I've been kind of got really involved in, because like I said, I've kind of opened this business or started this business, but I find the same thing. Like I've been online looking at Jordan cards, for instance, is a very good. And there's lots of good, and there's lots of nice, beautiful Jordan cards. That's not what my point is, but there's hysteria sometimes.
Yes.
Over some. You know what I mean? Like over different things. And to me, that's one of those things. Like there's some very low value, basey kind of cards in the world that people are trying to money grab on because there's a little bit of hype going around. And I know we're on the tail end of like a big kind of up in terms of trading cards. We're at a very good normal level technically in terms of like values and that kind of stuff technically. But like like those types of things are very very much involved in it, right? Like,
well, they have it like people have heard refer to that era of collecting as the junk wax collecting.
Yeah,
because a lot of it's not even worth the paper that it's printed on. But like, but it is to some. And for me, I mean, I do enjoy the nostalgic look of some of those '90s cards.
Well, that's the thing
for the hockey cards, especially. I know those old like pro sets. Yeah, I forgot what those.
Yeah, so I bought a box of those on the way here the other day. They'll be on the way here coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I'll probably actually stream that on Twitch. I started a Twitch page for this too, so I'm hoping to be on Twitch too. Maybe we'll crack open some cards. We'll do some crossovers. Ryan Snow from 1985, Sam from Sam's Boutique. Yes. Crack open some cards or something. Do some crossover events. This will be like the '90s cartoon crossovers.
Yeah,
that'll be sick.
Yeah,
but yeah. So
crossover action. No, that'd be fun to do a little opening.
Get this in the camera.
Little opening on.
Get this up here. Can't even do
on
it.
The camera.
I want to get this in the camera.
I think that's the most funnest part of the whole thing is opening the pack. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, man, that's like
the excitement.
That's my
a little bit of
part.
Get a little tingle off it, don't you?
I like that's my favorite part, man. I'm not even gonna lie about it, right? Like,
absolutely,
that is my favorite part of the whole thing. Yeah, that's just
like
that's what I like. I like opening. I'm really into Pokemon, to be honest. Like that's kind of my jam now. And I was in the '90s. Like I know I've said a few times now that I've gotten rid of my '90s collection of cards, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, so like I'm back into that. I'm just collecting kind of a couple sets. Well, I'm trying to make a business out of it as well.
Right.
But yeah, so it's yeah, I don't know, man. Collecting cards goes back a long way. And like I said, like Dad was into it, got me into it, and it was like a respect for the cards and stuff that Dad was kind of like, hey, like like even though it's not worth a whole lot of money, like these cards or whatever, you should still respect the cards. You know.
Oh, and value is subjected to whoever holds.
It's like
right?
everything, man. It's like everything. Like there's tons of people that don't care one bit.
No.
Right.
But
about that kind of
for
stuff.
me, like I personally took a liking to Felix Potvin, the goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
So I would go out of my way to collect anything I can with his face or picture on it or whatever. And some of those now are totally worthless compared to back in the day when you spent $10 on a card. That was a hell of a lot of money. Like we had another local card shop in our hometown. I don't remember.
Are we talking about Quick Cash here? Are we talking about Gore Guys?
Well, no. Well, that's another one. Yeah, but there was
because that's my thing. Like that's what I remember. And then there was what's his name's there in the trailer court there,
Mr. Wells.
Mr. Wells, yes, that's it. Yes, Mr. Wells. Traded a scatter card with him back in the day.
He had the hockey card shop there in the back of his house. That was a hell of a little collection he had, and we were just young kids. Like I said, I was collecting Felix Potvin cards and And hell yeah, that was a memory that I probably haven't thought of in 30 years, almost.
To
But
be fair,
I'm thinking of this now,
you're
and
hitting
I do
me with one
remember
here.
going through the back door, and seeing the big display of cards all set out, and just the shelves, and
Yeah.
now I'm getting the nostalgic feels here. Let's rip
Do you
open some
remember?
packs.
I got something here for you now. Do you remember? It was popular to like mount your cards, if you will. So you could buy those big ass
Yeah,
holders with
Yeah.
you like 10,
have like 4
10
display.
different. And you can have like 10.
10?
big
Oh
ones,
wow,
man.
that's wow.
And then so Dad used to do picture frames. So he would do a mat and then put the cards in.
Oh, sick.
Like a big picture, right? And put whatever, right? So Dad was at that for a while too. So he was selling those. But
That's awesome.
I remember at Wells' shop they used to do. Used to be able to get the. Like I said, these big display things or whatever, or like there was clocks. People would woodwork the clock,
All right, yes.
and then shellac the
Put a little
picture
bit of
or the card or whatever into the
clock
into the
the
clock.
wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then sell you the clock for $25 or
Yes.
whatever or whatever. I don't even know what it
That was
would
awesome. Little crafts with the hockey card
Yes,
mounted
man.
on it, with the
be.
whatever they do now with the what's that? The resin, you know what I mean? They put over it with
resins
the
and stuff. Yeah, it was like pre-resin or something. That's pretty funny. But yes, I'm gonna fucking see what's in these boxes here. So we got some boxes of stuff here that I've been picking up. This is all stuff that's available to buy and stuff. But I want to see what's in here. I want to see if I can blow someone's mind here. So we'll have a look. Let's see. You peek at them tags. See if there's anything that you spot there. Because I know I have a box of kind of foolish stuff in here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is all kind of classic stuff. I'm gonna put these up in an auction at some point here along the way. But so if anybody doesn't remember cards from the 90s, man, everybody had cards. Everything made a card. Everybody made a card. So in this box, I even got support your military cards. So it's like military fucking things, right? So from the States, they're pretty hilarious. So there's a Lion King set up in the camera there. We'll show that bad boy up. So yeah, so we got this thing right here, like a Lion King set, man, in the thing.
And in my hands, I'm holding a set of from 1992 dinosaurs. And Pro Set made these cards.
Yeah, man. Upper Deck made a bunch of
Let's see
stuff
if I
and
can
whatever,
get
right?
Get a couple on the screen. But yeah, these old dinosaurs cards
They're sick,
that were
man.
made by Pro Set.
Yeah, like Upper Deck made all the man, look at this, an old Kool-Aid pack. This dude, I bought this pile of shit from some dude. That's the actual pack for a card that I have in here that I was going to give to you, actually.
UFC up down.
We got some pebbles from, I think these are from cereal or something. Flintstones Pebbles. Bam Bam
Holy.
and Pebbles, right? It's got some cool stuff in here. So this is the Ultra 94 Flair Ultra X-Men pack. There's some pretty cool. These are just the packs. I have the cards for them, but the cards are beat to a pulp in one of these boxes here. But yeah, like that. This was the kind of stuff that you get in the 90s, right? Fucking Simpsons pack.
This is classic too, man.
Yeah.
Tops.
Tops with
Gremlins.
the wax packs, man. That's an 80s there.
10 movie photo cards, sticker, and 1 pack of bubble gum, baby.
Yeah, the bubblegum thing, right? That was sick too. Opening up stuff, get the bubblegum out and whatever, right? That's fucking sick.
Gremlins.
I don't know what else you could dig out of here, man. You can find all kinds of stuff. Oh, this is
These are things you used to go to the convenience store and just they were always displayed anywhere. Or we even a movie
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 theaters.
rental
Remember those
place.
card machines too? You throw $1 in and fucking
Oh yeah,
spit you out a card.
Yeah, you could put in. Well, was it $1 or a
No,
quarter?
quarter. What? I don't know.
10
There were-
cents. I don't know.
Actually, to be fair, there was different ones because I know at one point, one of the card shops in town had dollars, and you could win a Charizard and stuff. It was a Pokemon one.
Oh wow.
And to be honest, I pulled a pile of really good cards out of that, and they're in that stupid binder I sold. But I probably in this reality for probably $20, what I actually spent back in the day, I got a ton of stuff, man. So in here, there's some crazy stuff in this one too. I got another box full of stuff, but I don't know where it is. But there's crazy stuff in here, man. We got some of these weird shiny cards.
Definitely some vintage retro stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Look at these Hunchback of Notre Dame puzzles.
Sheesh.
Fucking, this is a creme de la creme. This is from the personal.
Oh,
Got a Tops.
what? A top?
Tops
Okay,
Osama bin
guys.
Laden.
A Tops Osama bin Laden card.
And it's real. That's a real thing. I don't know if we should be showing that on camera, but I don't even care. That's a sick card, though. This is real
That's
shit,
a
man.
fucking deep cut. Tops made a Osama bin Laden card.
Yeah, man. I got.
In 2001 too, guys. This wasn't post 9/11.
Like, there's all
A
kinds of crazy
pre
stuff in here.
9/11
Check it-
Osama bin Laden tops
buddy, check-
rookie card. We got a rookie card on our hands here.
Check that out. So we got some
Oh.
X-Files, man.
Holy cow! I didn't even know X-Files had.
Oh yeah, they got a nice set. I had a pile of them at one
Cards,
point. We
but
got Fangoria sets, man.
I shouldn't be surprised because it's the 90s.
Oh man, everybody got a card in the 90s. Everybody got a card in the 90s.
Mulder and Scully.
Let's see
The
what else is in
X-Files. I can't believe this Osama card. What is going on here?
Hey, I got some deep
What's the
cuts in here.
value like of something?
I have
like
no
that?
idea, man. Hit it up on eBay.
Oh,
Throw it up. Just look at it on eBay.
Oh yeah, I'll do it after the show.
I could
here,
probably
but
scan it with my scanner, but it's in minty shape too. Like she's pretty chippy. Like you got a little nip on the corner, but she's pretty good. I don't know if that's a valuable thing or not.
that's funny.
But like,
must be a whole set of like.
just like tons of stuff, man.
Jeez. Yeah.
It's the. I know there's a
Cheers.
full set of the like America's Most Wanted people or whatever it is, and I think this is what this is.
That's funny. Definitely.
Osama bin Laden,
New to me.
the suspected ringleader.
Wow.
Right, coming in hot. So this is from 2001. So this is right after.
Oh, it was right after, was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
they put out a set of these for all the Al Qaeda terrorists. I think at one point there.
Okay, I thought it said 2000. Was it 2001? Oh, geez.
See if I can. Oh, like yeah. So like these would have been the Marvel Ultra. These are which ones are these from? These are Skybox. So these are a little bit different. Like I got a few of these kicking around. Little Mr. Strange. The Magneto card is nice. The hollows in this are really, really, really sick. Actually, Omega Red from the Flare pack. So this is. Oh yeah, we got a Wolvie. Let's show off the Wolverine. Wolverine versus Sauron. So throw that up in the cam there. Let the boys see that.
Let the folks at home see this boy from Cold Lake, Alberta, Wolverine.
Yeah, there's
Bet
some
you didn't
cool
know
ones.
that.
There's definitely some cool stuff up in here, man. Like throw that guy up there. Got a little fucking
Cyclops and
Cyclops
Rogue
and
action.
Rogue, yeah.
Booty.
Some really cool. Yeah, just gonna have to order myself that figure I keep seeing in the meme there. thick Rogue.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh every time I see it.
Rogue.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff in here. Like
With all that
Quicksilver cars
cake.
actually pretty cool. These are like beat the fucking shit, but they're cool looking cars. The artwork is cool. Like these are like out of my personal collection. They're not worth anything or whatever, but they're cool shit.
Quicksilver from I think they're 1994, so they're almost 30 years old.
Yeah, man. And like I had a full set of these when I was a kid. This is a sick one actually. This is a really slick card. Wolverine versus the Punisher.
Oh,
In the pool. Sickle one.
oh, nice. Punisher was always a little fan favorite of mine.
Yeah, Punisher's cool, man. And
I think he was cool. Yeah, it just seemed cooler than the rest of the X-Men.
he's cool.
All right, like this guy's really a dude. He could
He's badass.
he could just badass. Yeah, he could shoot the shit out of you or
kick that shit out of
beat
you.
you up or who knows. Hey,
What else is in here? We got the erotic stack here, whatever these are supposed to be. I don't even know what these actually are. But like there's stuff like this in some of them, which I find hilarious. And then you got like barbarian crap. But like I just find these interesting. Like I don't know, there's no real value to them necessarily. I've looked them up on the internet. I mean, you can sell a whole stack for like $5 or something like that. But they're not worth selling. This is what I was trying to find right here.
Tales from the Crypt cards.
So not only that, man, I have also got a couple of Raiders of the Lost Ark OGs and an OG Superman card
from the 80s.
from the 80s. Yeah. So this one is
Damn.
actually this is from 1978.
Wow.
Yeah, throw that up there if you want to have a leak at that one. Then these ones should be from 81?
Oldie
Yeah.
from 1970 something.
78.
78.
And then these are from 81. So they're pretty slick stuff.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
But this is the kind of stuff
Promo
that would be
cards.
like
Sick.
in the basement, like of your mom's house or whatever, like back in the old day, like you know what I mean? Like this would have been the stuff that you would find at your house, kind of thing. It was just this random stuff kicking around. Actually got some nice Tales from the Crypt cards there too. Got some cool stuff, man. There's like,
cool.
but this is this is the kind of stuff I collect. It's these kind of like random objects, right? Like I don't have like a rhyme or reason for anything necessarily. When I see something that's cool and I like it, I collect it.
These Tales from the Crypt cards from 93 are pretty cool though.
I like those, yeah, and they're the you can get the comics and they're the comic book covers as well, so that's pretty cool as well. And I used to have a pile of those as well. I don't know really truly whatever happened to all that kind of stuff, but yeah. That's
Yeah, like I recently when you said those cases we used to put the cards in,
Yeah.
those weird cases. Like I had a bunch of those just for single cards and stuff,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
found them actually in an old tote. I found most of my collection. A lot of it's shit, but like I said, most of the stuff I have is nostalgic, so it's valuable to me. Like
Yeah,
that,
man,
you know.
and that's just it, right? Like,
So it's
and-
fun to break them out, look at them, and I mean, I got a couple of them on a hobby shelf that I have now and stuff. But
Yeah, man, and that's the thing too. Like, I don't like being the person who takes my entire hobby and like puts it in the closet, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I want to show it to people, so I don't want to have like a $500,000 card or that's just sitting in my house, and
Or
every time
locked
someone
away.
touches it, I'm like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
don't look at that.
don't
But,
touch
like,
my Charizard.
Yeah,
in the
or
case.
whatever the fuck, right? Like, that's not really what I'm into. I'd rather like fucking.
Let it go.
Like,
Let
I
it
got it.
breathe.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. It's just been a camera, but there's like a whole shelf up there. Like, that's my personal collection of stuff. There's some stuff that belongs to Leanne and stuff in there, and some stuff for Hunter. But the 90% of it, 95% of it is all
Yeah.
mine, right? So, like, I mean, I got like a unpunched Ninja Turtle. It's not even in the fucking in a sleeve or anything. It's just sitting there. That's a fucking $200 fucking surfing Mikey. Like, it's
Yeah,
in really
maybe
good shape.
Buy up
But
a
it sits
case for
there.
that.
Yeah, I am good. I got one in my Amazon card actually.
Okay, nice.
But you know what I mean, right? And I got a couple of movies, and like there's a CD up there. There's my box set of Star Wars from when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? Like, it's just random kind of stuff. Couple tech decks from Ryan Snow. Fucking
Yeah, I
got a
mean,
bunch of Harley Quinn stuff because I collect Harley Quinn stuff. But it's not like I'm going after like 101 Harley Quinn crap. I just like weird stuff that I find.
yeah.
Because a lot of, and the other side is too, like I'm not always looking for like a DC or a Marvel or a.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
When it
just
comes to that.
whatever
Yeah, like
when it
I don't
comes
care if
your
it's a China brand or whatever, like rip off toys, stuff like that. Like I like all that shit, man, because I'm a child of the '90s and everything was a toy in the '90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody made up a toy or
And
whatever.
apparently everything was a card as well.
Literally everything was a card. Yeah.
Like, but get to the later times here now. Like, I find like card, like style and like how they have developed different genres of cards.
Yeah.
You know, for me especially, just being a hockey card fan
Yeah.
and seeing how they incorporate the jerseys in them, and then the
yeah,
autos, and
yeah,
then
the
the,
autos and the
you know, different
patch
cool
cards, jersey
artifacts like
cards.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, and the artifacts cards. And
There's
yeah.
so many.
And there's
so
a
many
lot
cool
of,
things now that we never quite had those back in the day.
No, they used to. There wasn't a lot of like 101s like that. Didn't. Like,
No,
I can remember
That came after the fact.
and it's not new. Like a lot of, I think
It's
some new collectors think it's like brand new, but I want to say there was like a Pinnacle, like select set or whatever it would have been called at the time. That was something like that. Like it had like artifacts cards and stuff like that. I think or it was something to do with that. But I remember seeing those. And they were kind of like the first people to do anything different.
Yeah.
Than like a shiny card or. You know, whatever it'd be like a shiny, or to get like the explosions or the blah blah blah, whatever. Right? Like there's these special designs or whatever. Like, but there was no 101s, like 105s. Like you know how
Yeah.
they do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'll bust something later here. 1 second here. I'm just gonna bust out a little thing here out because I opened up a pack of cards the other day. There's a video of it on my Instagram there and everything. But I just wanted to like show you some of the new cards kind of thing. I wish I could find the box. I had a box with old hockey cards and they're probably stuffed in there somewhere. But I did have a bunch here. I was gonna kind of show you a comparison. I'll grab these real quick here.
Well, yeah, it's hard to compare because the new ones are so slick. They're so shiny and such great graphic designs. But I really
Like
love
airplanes, man.
Yeah, really slick. Here we go. So who's the? Did you open up all these?
Yeah, so I cracked this open as a video the other day. So this is a like $40 box, I guess, something like that, maybe in Walmart or whoever. So this is, let's see, we'll get it up on the screen here. So this is a Series 1 box from 2022, 2023. So it's end of the season type of a box, if you will. So I got it for $20 at Walmart. So like they do these type of things now, right? So this is a Young Guns, which is a good one to me. Like I enjoy this.
Yeah.
This is Lucas Raquel, I believe is how you state his name.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
That's good. We'll take it. So
I'm a big fan of the Young Guns.
So
Young
something
Guns
I wasn't.
hockey cards.
Yeah, these are actually super nice, and this is the first. Like, okay, so this is the first few packs of hockey cards I've opened up in. Man, I don't know. Like, how old am I? I'm 38. Probably like 20 odd years, maybe. I don't even know, man. The last time I opened up hockey cards. So like, I don't know. I went through and I scanned them all into Ludix or whatever. One of my apps I have for the cards. So like, these are like pretty normal looking. Like these look.
Those are your base.
These are the base sets, so these were kind of like the dollar set. But according to Ludix, like if these were all minty and someone was to like want them all, So $20 got me $149 in cards in one box, kind of a thing.
Oh wow.
So like these are the freshies. Like here, you get a little closer to that than me. So then I pulled out some cards. I got a Connor McDavid in here from it, a little Milan. So like they look like Upper Deck cards, kind of like they look new and whatever, but they always kind of look like Upper Deck cards. They're very slick.
Yeah, I
They're
think
shiny.
usually I think
I like the Upper Deck cards.
I think I've always been a fan of Upper Deck the most. I think they're like the premier kind of card
to me. They always were. I like because I found Pro Set look cheap.
Yeah.
Now that I'm old, I kind of want to crack them open again though, because I'm like, oh, these.
Yeah.
I had tons of these. Like same with scorecards. Like those were kind of cheap.
Yeah.
I never really
pinnacles or flares.
The flares were kind of okay. There was some other stuff, but like I really was technically into the Upper Deck stuff more than anything when it came to sports cards, and even now. So then I crack them open. So I didn't get anything like these cards are all worth anywhere from like a couple bucks up to like $10 or whatever. So I did end up with a little Connor base card, but it's like a $25 card, a $20 card kind of thing, or whatever, Canadian technically. But then you get shit like this, Dazzlers, right? Which is a beautiful card.
Great looking.
Not worth a
hollow.
whole lot. Like it's a pretty basey card or whatever, but it's cool. You want to scratch it up? They're cool, right? Some will be after it. It's cool. And then like got a base Connor, got a Milan in his red uni.
Luch. Milan Lucic. For the uninformed here. Talking a little hockey. Little hockey card collecting. Love it.
Drew Doughty.
Little Drew Doughty. Little Dewey base set.
Yeah, and I don't really kind of like know these guys. These are like the last of the people I know. But these cards are worth money. Like this Jordan Echo is worth some money. He's lighting it up apparently. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy that. So yeah, then what I didn't know was this Cam Talbot card. It's just base card or whatever the fuck. But apparently it's worth like $100. So there's that. So this is things I didn't know about new hockey stuff, which is interesting to me because it makes me want to rip some packs, to be fair. But
oh yeah.
So that's the thing. So maybe you'll see some hockey card stuff come up here later on. But yeah, it's so like that's the new hockey stuff. So like that's kind of like what I was into as a kid. Like this is the kind of stuff that me and Dad were into. We never had the money to kind of like buy boxes and cases and all that old shit or whatever. I remember when we bought 2 boxes of NFL cards, 2 boxes of baseball cards. And the only reason they were cheap because it's Newfoundland and nobody gives a shit
about football or baseball.
Football or baseball. But yeah, I mean, we got those sets and we got the specials, the inserts, and all that stuff. And Dad's got those sets still at home, or at least the football ones. I'm pretty sure one set anyway. But I remember doing that. And that was like so exciting that we bought a box, like a couple boxes of cards. You're talking about like what 72 packs of cards or whatever it would have been at the time, right?
The only time I've ever had a box of cards, it was a gift, but I was in the hospital, so it was kind of like a makeup gift here, but
sympathy gift.
But no, it was pretty sick, and it was the Pro Set, and I was always convinced that if you bought the box, you had the full set.
Well, that's what a lot of people think.
When I was a kid, I was probably in grade 1 or something, but
91.
My brother would be quick to tell me that was not the case. You don't have the full set just because you bought the box.
You just got tons of cards.
You just got a lot of the same cards, and and that's it. But
that was the shit when you were a kid, though.
Oh yeah,
probably put them back into box afterwards, the whole 9.
Yeah, all I cared about was getting a Wayne Gretzky or a Dougie Gilmore.
Dougie Gill, or something or whatever.
I was pretty stoked.
Yeah, man. I loved opening up hockey cards when I was a kid. It was like the best. And Dad was really good friends with Gord Guy, which was Quick Cash in the center of town there, which is where I ended up buying like all my Pokemon cards from, and I bought a pile of comics from him and everything. And I mean, like he's like a family friend, like real nice guy. I don't know if he's into cards or not or whatever he does now, but real nice dude, man. Real nice dude. So yeah, that's where we were. But like that's what I remember is like hanging out at the card shop, people coming in and out, trading cards, talking shit, making fun of each other's cards. You know what I mean?
Great store too. It had a bunch of movie rentals. It was like one of those
thing too,
right? Just the movie posters all over.
Yeah,
just like one of those '90s stores.
Super '90s stores. Like Buddy owned it down the road.
Yeah,
and yeah, man, it was awesome. Like, Quick Cash was a great time. Like that was another. Like I remember having so many Pokemon cards that I used to be able to go back with. Like, think about it now, it's outrageous. But think about it now. Back then, I would go back with like all my extra hollows, and I would trade them for packs. Right, so like one hollow for a pack,
and then
or
get
maybe
shit.
not even some, depending on the hollow, maybe 2, maybe even like a rare and a hollow rare,
Oh boy.
right? From Unlimited set. Oh man, I think about it now. I'm like, oh my god, I used to trade like what is considered, probably a couple $100 worth of cards right now.
Probably a little bit ruthless too to be trading with a young kid, eh? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I
But
probably got ripped off too, actually,
No,
more than once.
well, at
but-
the time it wasn't getting ripped off, right? Like the cards were only worth like $2 or whatever. Like
Oh,
they were
yeah.
nothing. They weren't like people threw them in the garbage a lot of the times because they were fuck all until
Yeah.
late 2000s, right? But yeah, it's funny when I think about that. But yeah, Gord treated us good, man. And then we used to do the movie deals with him. We go down and buy a couple packs of Pokemon cards, get your movie, get your treats or whatever.
bag
You
of chips.
put it on Dad's tab, maybe even.
Mountain Dew, baby.
Mountain Dew, maybe a couple bottles of Pepsi. Could be Pepsi.
I loves Pepsi.
Loves the Pepsi. Hey.
A little bit of Pepsi. No, that's the times. We were just young bucks.
Little young boys, that's all, man.
But I
Young
didn't,
little boys.
You know, I was totally late to the game with Pokemon. In fact,
So I
just bought my first Pokemon pack of cards.
recently sold Ryan Snow 2
Yesterday.
cards off my stream. Thanks for the support. Deadly. But he cracked him up, man. He didn't do too good. Didn't do too bad. But he did get some vintage. Show off your vintage, man. Show those buys.
Got a little vintage. Are these these are from the original 151s or?
So that is what you have there. So there's like first edition, which would have first edition written right on it, of course, right? And then there's first edition Shadowless. And then there's base set Unlimited, which is like the Unlimited print or whatever, right? And there's like base set Jungle, base set Fossil. So you'll have a leaf in the corner for Fossil, or a leaf in the corner for Jungle, or a dinosaur foot for a Fossil. Nothing is a base set. The Shadowless is there's no shadows on the trim, or there is shadows on the trim. So Shadowless. So base set original, like first edition, has no shadows technically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
These are all totally new to me.
So yeah, so these are all freshies, like pretty minty too. To be fair, like for a binder fine kind of thing. A little bit of playware on the back, but I mean, for what are we doing here? 25 years old this year. Yeah. So yeah, so we're not doing too shabby. Right? Little Abra, and they're beautiful cards. Like they look 90s. Like they just look like the 90s, and they're beautiful, right?
Yeah, I love seeing the printed in 1995.
Yeah, man. So that, like a lot of people like what have been buying them from me have been doing with that kind of stuff is buying what we were talking about, those big cases or whatever, and then you can slap them in the case, make a little display, right? You know, you get a couple Pokemon that you like, or whatever, and you put the couple base set normal ones in there, whatever, not ruining anybody's life, and you're not spending a pile of money on stuff, right?
Yeah, no, and
So there's all kinds of cool stuff.
but I learned a little bit about Pokemon through Pokemon Go. If anyone out there has ever played that,
It's good
like,
for the
hey.
names. It'll get you good on the names and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
almost
for sure.
40, but no, it was fucking fun when it came out.
Pokemon Go's fun,
And
yeah.
I learned a lot about it, and because I was late to the game, I was 2000 and late to the
2000
game.
and late.
2000 and late to the
Fucking
game.
Fergie over here.
Yeah, buddy, I'm in now. 2 feet.
But it's I don't know. Like I've collected Pokemon like on and off through my 20s, a little bit in my early 30s, but not so much anymore. Now I'm kind of like I stick to, and I'm not chasing down big cards. I just want to collect what I like.
Not
Kinda
chasing the dragon over here.
I do. I bought a char the other day for $40. It's the not Celebrate 20 Evolve one. I believe it's the Evolve one. So I got it for $40 actually online. So it's a pretty good deal. I'm gonna put that in the OG in my little personal collection there.
Nice.
I've never pulled. I haven't. Because I don't think I've ever actually pulled a Charizard. But I've always, when I was a kid, I traded for them. So I've never technically pulled a Charizard from a pack until now. Recently, I pulled a couple Charies and
there's
different
one
things.
over here somewhere.
There is one in that box over. It's a trainer card. I sold a couple, or one yesterday actually for like $8, which is like the going rate for the Oblivion. Is it from Oblivion? Yeah, Oblivion, or Obsidian Flames, which I have a box full right there. So it's the green cherry from that one, which is cool. It's full art or whatever. It's a nice card, but I sold that one yesterday. So that I've pulled 3 Charizards technically, but they're new, like brand new.
Nice. That would be sick. I'd love to pull one of those.
Yeah, man. I want the one from the black one or whatever you want to say from Obsidian. It's really nice. There's a white one too, or a gold one. I mean, I think it's pretty cool.
But the Holy Grail would still be the base set.
Holy
hollow?
Grail is a first edition Shadowless Charizard still, and then I mean like Venusaur and Blastoise are
Any
up there.
starter Pokemons.
Yeah, those are up there. I mean, it's not a Charizard, but like the other ones go up for a hefty price. Like you get a 10-10, you're you're styling for sure. If you get a PSA 10,
That'd be sick.
for sure for either one of those. And to be fair, like a lot of them in PSA 10 are really expensive. Even like the non-holo rares
Yeah.
are pretty expensive. And in all reality, like the Pokemon cards have actually regulated very well. I don't feel right now that they're outrageous. And if you're into kind of playing your cards right, no pun intended, you can pick up some steals online for sure. Like you get into some auctions and stuff like that, you can get some steals. Like I got some stuff coming. Like I got a couple slabs. I got a really nice Snorlax slab coming. 8.5. I mean, it's not a 10, but it's an 8.5. It's a nice Snorlax. But I got it for like shipped to me with my other stuff. I think it was like $25 or whatever, $22, something like that. It's a really good deal. Like especially here in Canada where it's hard to get your stuff rated and graded because we're here and you have to send it to the States.
So far. Yeah.
So and I'm sure there
takes quite a bit of time too, doesn't it?
Yeah, like there's some like I mean, depending, and you pay for turnaround time. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, so you're paying for your turnaround time, right? So like if you pay, I don't know what the premiums are now, but I say $90 or whatever, you get it back in 60 days rather than 120 days or whatever, right? So it depending on what you're doing, or whatever, it's only kind of worth it to get a big stack, and you throw the big stack in the box. And like get them all done right, and you get them all shipped back as a big stack.
That's right. Yeah, it's best to do
especially
a
PSA.
bulk,
PSA is really busy and they're
load.
expensive, right? PGA or whatever it is, and a couple of the other ones are a little bit quicker to go and whatever. So it just depends, right?
But would PSA would its value be more
TCG.
valuable than another? Like I mean, who grades it?
No, not in terms of like the grader, but the PSA grade is the grade. Like if you're and it goes across the board, right?
Cream of the crop.
That's the creme de la creme. Then I think it would be like CGC maybe. Then there's like PGA or something like that. I can't remember what the other one is. There's a bunch of them, to be fair. Like there's tons of them. There's CWC ones or something like that I've seen on the other day, which I've never even seen before. So it depends, right? But like the creme de la creme is still PSA, yeah. But like it's expensive. It's a long wait time. Like to me, like the PGAs, you don't get as good grades. I don't find like if you get a 9.5 from them, you'll get a 10 from PSA.
Oh,
generally speaking, or that's the consensus with the grading crowd or whatever that I've read. Like I'm not a grading specialist. I don't know. Don't get that mixed up or anything like that. I can tell you kind of more or less what makes up the grades, like how I look at a card and be like, oh, that's a fucking nice card,
right,
or not. But when it comes to like the rules and regulations, what they actually do behind the scenes, I have no idea, right? But yeah, like I tend to go for the other ones because they're little like significantly cheaper depending on what you're trying to buy.
I can't justify
no, man.
Some
like,
price tags on these
not
things.
for personal stuff.
No,
like it's one
no.
thing for reselling and stuff like that. Like you
exactly
you eat it kind of thing because you're going to resell it, and that's the premise. So you kind of, you just ship a full box and you get it back, and then you sell them individually or whatever your deal is, right? So there's that. But like for personal collection stuff, man, it's I don't know. It depends on what it is. Like it would have to be like something pretty sick for me to be like, I want to get this graded and stick it on my shelf, kind of thing.
Yeah, like
because to be real, I'm fine with putting it in a nice hard case.
Yeah, I'm fine with it just being in a top loader and thrown on the shelf. Just
get a couple
display.
Couple little slippers, slip-ons or whatever, and throw them in.
I have a few Pokemon that I am a little. I like Charizard. I like the Mewtwo. Like the big boys.
Yeah. I like the big hitters.
Yeah, like the what are those Zapdos and Articunos? And
the legendary birds.
Legendary birds. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I like that stuff. I like the new Tyranitar stuff. Like I like.
Oh yeah, he's badass too.
I like all of it. To be fair, like I love pulling sick cards. I like, man. I'm not even gonna So I got off Pokemon onto a different card. I bought a stack of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh the other day.
Oh, okay. Now I'm really in the dark about this. So
I ended up with like $1,500 in cards for like $100 or something like that. So I did pretty well. But yeah, so that's a thing that I didn't realize either. But like those things are beautiful, man. And it's funny because you're looking at the cards. I mean, there's cards I picked out a couple of them because they're like, man, these are sick, and they're worth nothing. We're like a penny. Like you grade them. You can do whatever you like. They're a penny card, right? But they're just beautiful.
Put them in your spokes.
Yeah, literally make fart noises with them, kind of thing, or whatever, right? But man, though, like beautiful fucking cards, man. Hunter collected them and stuff like that, but I didn't really look. I don't know if I paid that much attention to them in that kind of regard, but man, they're beautiful cards. Holy
really
snot,
nice
they're
artwork.
beautiful.
Yeah. I could appreciate that. I always like,
and that's the thing. That's
like that stuff.
Yeah, man. Like that's the reason. Like that's the reason why I had a bunch of these '90s cards. There's nothing to do with the cards. Like the cards are worth nothing. but they're cool. The artwork's cool. The artists are cool. The people in the pictures are cool. You know,
Exactly, yeah. And it also, like I said, some of those things will, like the dinosaurs ones, I had to grab right away because that one, it clicks, right? And
yeah, man. And everybody likes it a little different, right? Everybody likes their own thing.
Maybe someone's thing is Raiders of the Lost Ark, and maybe that was
Yeah.
the card they were looking for, you know, and
Yeah,
that makes things way more valuable when
when it hits
when
you.
people have a connection to it,
Especially
and stuff like
nostalgia stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like from our time frame, like we're the last of the movie theater kids and the mall kids and the trading cards and the bubble gum and the bright lights and the
that. Mhm.
neon. You know what I mean? Like we're the last fucking rebel kids or whatever. You know what I mean? And this is the stuff we were into, right? Like it just like movies, like the TV show, and the thing is the TV show's tied to the cards and the collectability of things like the McDonald's toys tie into this, like, you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff. Like everything had a toy. Everything had
Mhm.
some type of distribution deal with somebody, like making a toy. Burger King, McDonald's,
Yeah.
Toys R Us exclusives, blah, 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 you know what I mean? So there was all this tie-in from all these different areas that I think now that we're older, of course, and we got a little bit of money and time, we're going back on. We're trying to recollect. I mean, I have a box. No, I'm during an auction, but I mean, I have a box full of VHS, or I still have my personal collection, right? But I have I collected those up. It's time now to move on, right? Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it's time to move those on, right? I got my OGs, the ones I want to keep, that will always sit there. They'll just rot away. They'll never be playable, kind of thing. Like, I'll throw them every now and then, right? That's the kind of thing. This is where I'm at with collecting at this juncture. I find, especially after starting a business in the industry,
You have to move things for sure.
I want to move some more stuff. Like, I'm willing to keep stuff, but it is not going to be like it was before.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to like going to the thrift store and picking up a dollar toy, I see whatever. That's my business. Nobody else. But you know what I mean, though. Like when it comes to the
absolutely.
card, especially the card collecting thing, I want to get like sets. I don't want to just collect cards anymore. Like I want to get
You want the set.
I want to grab a setup. Yeah, I would like to finish off a couple sets. And then like when I get a couple sets, then I can kind of when I get up and rolling a little bit better, I'll maybe dig into some singles and some cool stuff like that or whatever. But we'll see how it goes, right? It's but that's where I'm at with collecting. I'm kind of trying to keep everything in one place.
Keep it in one spot.
Yeah, and like I'm only going to collect a couple of things. Like I'm still collect like 90s one-off weird stuff. That's always been a thing. And strange toys. I love strange toys, strange little figures, all that kind. I have tons of them around the house. But yeah, I'm going to stick to like I got a couple of sets of Pokemon that I'm collecting, which is all I'm sticking to in terms of buying and stuff like that. Toys I got on my shelf kind of thing. I'll stick to that kind of stuff. One-off type stuff. But yeah, everything else I think it's going to go up in an auction here next week, I think, and we're going to
I like the
Bomb
one-off.
some of that.
For me, like I want a couple one-offs for a shelf. You know, that's
Yeah.
pretty. I don't think I'd be able to get into collecting a whole set of cards.
Yeah.
Unless whatever, you know. But going back to what you're like with everyone having a thing, like how like the marketing in the 90s was so much better. I think because I think people didn't have internet to rely on.
100%.
So
And
they
it had to
had
be
to-
in your face.
You had to put out commercials. You had to
but
put
it
out
had to be
physical
good shit
things.
too. It
You
had to be
put
good,
out,
you know.
the McDonald's. You had to put out the cards. You had to
That's
put out
true,
toys. You had to put out stickers and every other thing you could think of. And
Yeah.
instead of just trying to push one product on the internet for people to absorb, it was a lot more physical stuff kind of coming at you and
Yeah.
collecting.
That's what I
Like
think.
now, I don't think. It's not like any random show right now has a collector's set of cards, or not every show right now has action figures for that matter. But
Yeah, and that's just it too, right? And I mean, if anybody who I don't necessarily collect action figures, but I look at them a lot. Like I
always looking.
because there are certain ones I'm after or whatever. But like I don't collect very many anymore. Like I want certain ones. The same thing, right? Like
Certain
I've
ones, yeah.
cut myself down to like, okay, I'm after this type of stuff. I'm not going just because it's from my childhood. I don't need everything.
Yeah.
Right. I just want to get it. But all the new reissues of all the sick stuff from the night, like the He-Man stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All the new Ninja Turtle stuff. So then they reissue like the old stuff, plus they brought out new stuff with the movie,
Yes, yeah.
kind of in coherence with each other.
New movie was a hit.
New movie.
I haven't seen it. But
It's really
I'm
good,
gonna-
man.
I'm
I
gonna
watched
watch
it on Nickelodeon with the kids. It's really good.
it. Nice.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, and they brought out like all the vehicles again, and like X-Men. So I got an X-Men 1997 collector figure up there. But that's all brought back now, kind of thing, right? Because they got the new show coming out here soon,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're gonna tack on to the end of 1997 there. So yeah, man, it's I don't know, it's getting interesting. That's for sure. I will say that.
Pretty interesting field here we got.
Yeah. So like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. My take is that people should just collect whatever they want. That's my take on collecting.
I think everyone should collect something.
Yeah, and I think it's fun. And I mean, collecting's not necessarily for everybody, I guess. I mean, lots of people don't even like music or whatever.
People don't even. Yeah, people are like, oh, it's
and that's
just clutter,
fine. And that's
fine.
and that's fair too. But people like when you're, I just find sometimes there's like the community of collectors sometimes can be judgy.
Yeah.
And critical of people's other things, you know what I mean? And some of it comes from a spot of jealousy, I think. But the other side of it is that some people come from a spot of negativity for what they're doing. Like, just because you enjoy whatever you enjoy doesn't mean everybody else has to either.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm finding very funny on. Like, I'm not offended by it on the internet, but I find it very funny watching that stuff on the internet now. People, you know, in the chats and whatever, in the forums and whatever, right, in the comments, kind of arguing over whose collection is cooler or whatever, or like you shouldn't or should collect things and stuff like this. Like,
people are so tribal.
it's super tribal, super not the thing, right? But yeah, my take.
I think that's with everything. Like, honestly,
Oh,
like
it is,
any
man, 'cause
subject
it is, yeah.
matter. Yeah,
You're gonna get a group of people that are like,
you're gonna have one person liking one, and the other person, another person just trolling.
and it bounces
the
off
other
the walls, right? Of course, right? So, yeah, it's a different thing. But yeah, no, I mean, I think the market is very healthy in terms of collectibles in general. It's not just specifically trading cards or Pokemon or whatever. It's everything. Like, I'm watching every day. I'm watching VHS auctions every day. I'm watching movie auctions every day.
Vintage clothing.
Vintage clothing is going ballistic.
I'm watching NASCAR shirts go for like $200 US. Bro.
Yeah, man. So that's like a thing that I'm going to add to my shop here coming up when I get going.
I want
here in the next
first
couple
pick
weeks.
because I'm looking for me a
So I'm-
NASCAR shirt.
So I'm going to
baby.
order like 150 pounds of vintage T-shirts here, and we'll get them up on a market here one day.
Nice.
I'll sift through them and we'll wash them and press them and steam them, and
Fuck
there
yeah.
we'll go. But yeah, I'm gonna get some of those going here eventually, and put them in the shop too. But that's it. Like, what's old is new again, right? Like, it's the '90s all over. Like, thrifting was a big deal. All that stuff was a big deal. People are back into the cards again, into the thrifting again, into the clothes, like fashion. All these things are popping up here, right?
It's very trendy right now to look like. I don't know. It seems like people are just trying to be like the '90s.
Oh, 100%, man. It's super back.
For the
And
younger generation, I mean, I'm sort of seeing
well, it's
it a
strange
little
when
bit.
you walk, you go into a mall or whatever, and the kids that are like, say, anywhere from say 10 to 15, 16, or look like we did, or close.
Yeah.
To what we did, or it's a take on a '90s fashion, technically speaking, because it's not exactly, but it's close, right? As it's spin or whatever. But yeah, man, like vintage stuff is back, all that stuff is back,
Baggy clothes.
and I'm sure that it eventually it'll go back around to new is new or whatever. But right now, man, things are very healthy. Like we got off the pandemic crap, so like the high prices on all collectibles. A lot of people could talk about cars, and I mean cars went ballistic, especially sports cars. Like cases were going nuts. People were just off the chart, streaming, busting cards on cases. I buy like hundreds of cases a day. It was nuts. Case breaks and stuff, right?
Pandemic boom.
Yeah, the pandemic almost ruined it for a lot of people in certain ways, right? So, yeah, I think it's in a good spot. I think it's a little bit more healthy, a little bit more normalized. Like, even when you go on eBay, the prices are a little bit more sensible. Things are a little bit more affordable for everybody. Expensive things are always going to be expensive, I think. No matter what you talk about, what type of collectible you talk about in that reality. Because if there's a market for it, someone's selling it for more. But I think it's a very good spot. And I think it's a good time for people to get in on stuff. If you were, you're a kid and you're like, oh, I can't afford to get in. Like, start your collection nice and easy, man. Don't have to get in with the $500,000 Charizard.
No.
Like, jump in on something that you like. Get in on a new set. Go buy a box for $40. Take some pulls out. You'll find it exciting, especially people who, if you can find it, even like especially Pokemon people. New 151, man. If you were into Pokemon as a kid, you will enjoy this set. It's the original OG 151s in reprint set.
Nice.
With all the new stuff, right? So EXs and Xs and you got secret art rares and full art rares and beautiful, beautiful cards, right? I mean, like, and there'll be a good set. This is going to be a set that's going to kind of rival the base set stuff, I think, because this is my opinion is this is the last reprint of that set in that capacity.
So in 20 years, those could be bangers.
I don't even think it's going to be 20, man, because it's like, I think a lot of people there's a lot of people opening it and stuff too, but I think it's the reason a lot of people are back into Pokemon cards and cards in general. To be fair, like I know a lot of people are like, man, I went and bought a booster box for $32, $36 from Walmart one day and ripped the packs with my kid, and we got a couple of sick. And I mean, because you haven't seen them in so long, you're like, every card looks sick.
Yeah.
Like, right? So you're just like, holy shit, I got a bunch of sick cards. So now you got a little excitement in your life, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool, yeah. So, but yeah, no, man, I think it's headed down a good road, and I think it's something super nostalgic from the 90s. Like trading cards were a huge deal. They took this huge boom, and it wasn't just Pokemon. It was sports cards were huge in the early 90s, right up until the 2000s, even mid 2000s to a certain degree, until it tapered off. And they had some issues with the hobby. Then, to be honest, like everybody overprinted the shit of everything. Everybody was trying to capitalize on that last little bit of the 90s kind of leftovers or whatever. But yeah, I think we're back to a normal spot, and I think it's going to be good. So you probably see some more stuff like that coming up on the channel now too. You probably see us busting open some cards. Maybe we'll try to stick to vintages, like 90s based stuff on the channel.
Yeah.
For like if we're gonna crack stuff open or whatever. But yeah, so we got. I'm gonna do. I know I have 2 boxes of cards coming at some point here. They're ordered for a week or so now. So when they show up or whatever, we'll do a live. We'll bust those open one day. We'll do a live stream of that or something, and bust them open and go through them and whatever. And that'll be something cool to do. Maybe maybe we'll do a giveaway if I can figure out how that works on Twitch and stuff like that.
That'd be cool. We should, give us a little something to our loyal fans.
Yeah, we'll pick out some wax packs, maybe throw them in a thing, and we'll just ship them over to you, and you can open them, record yourself ripping them, and send it back.
Yeah,
and we'll throw it in the pod. But yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. But that's my take on it all, man. I think, like I say, everybody just click whatever you like, enjoy what you like.
That's right.
And if you're looking for stuff, hit me up.
If you're looking for anything, I know a guy.
I got a guy who knows a thing or two about that. But yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for
take it out from here, I guess, eh?
Thanks everyone for listening up.
Yeah, man. Thanks everybody. That was awesome.
We like I said, we're very appreciative of everyone who's followed along in 2023, and we're just getting started here. We had a little day of release pod here, and just gonna keep it rolling, baby, every Wednesday.
Yeah. So next week we'll come back. We'll have a plan. We'll actually kind of hopefully maybe we'll do an announcement of what our topics will be for like the next 3 or 4 episodes, kind of thing. And we'll pop those up so everybody can kind of get a sneak peek at what our topics are going to be.
Yeah, get a little inside scoop.
Yeah, girl.
Yes.
But anyways, everybody, thank you again. Awesome 2023 for 6 months worth of work. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for following along. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching now. So this is a day of. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching on Twitch. See somebody hanging out in there the whole time. Thanks, everybody.